Hello guys, welcome to the Python training. Today we're going to discuss some basic string methods. Python has a few methods that string objects can call to perform some actions on some transformation on those strings. Okay, let's start just by creating a small string we're going to use. Let's call my string equals to, and let's leave some space, a couple of spaces here, hello, and then Python, and then 3, and a couple of spaces here, and you're gonna see why. So the first thing we're gonna use, and we're gonna use this all the time, is print, right? And this is trivial, but it's very important to start with the easy stuff, right? So we can do print and then just pass the name of the string, right? This is not a method, this is a function, but we're going to use this all the time. If we execute this, you're going to see here, we have as output hello Python 3, right? Very good. Let's use the same print statement here, but let's change my string, right? So instead of printing my string, I'm going to print my string dot upper. Remember the parentheses at the end of the name of the method, and let's see what upper is doing. Okay, very good. Similarly, we can actually, I'm going to leave the previous one. I'm going to be adding something else. Let's say my string dot lower parentheses, and then closing the parentheses of, sorry, of the print. What's going to happen here? Let's see. Execute this, and I have, this is coming from here, print my string dot upper, and I have everything in uppercase, and lower, I have everything on lowercase. This may be interesting, especially lower, because it's a good practice when you have variable names, column names, file names, etc. And in order for your code to be robust and to avoid mistakes when calling a variable or a function or a file name or whatever, that everything is lowercase. So basically, when you open uh, some source of data and you have a variable that contains a string, and this string is pointing to is the name of an object at some point of your program, it's a good practice to have everything lowercase. um, we're going to discuss this later when we will be using a lot of names and strings for different stuff. Okay, something else you may be interested in doing is print my string dot title, for example. And title, what's going to do is this, it's going to uppercase the first letter of each word, basically. Okay, nice, very nice. Let's try with a couple of other methods that I think are very interesting. For example, count. If you want to count how many times a substring is in the bigger string, you can use the count method, and you can use it like this. I'm going to use print just to print out the result, right? So you first write the name of your string, my string dot count, and then you pass the substring you want to look. Let's say that at this point we want to look for the substring L, right? Let's see what happens. 2, right? Makes sense. It's coming from here, from this LL. Let's try with the substring 3. It's 1 time. Yeah, makes sense. What happens if I put the substring 4 that is not present here? It's 0. Okay, very nice, very interesting. Of course, in this case, makes no sense because you see your string is very small here, but let's assume that you are opening a file and you are loading huge amount of text, millions of words, whatever, and you want to find some substrings, you can use this. Okay, Very nice. Super. Remember that the string, actually, my string it's an iterable object, right? And this means that you can use indexes to access different elements. For example, the element in the position number 4 is gonna be this guy here, right? L, because remember it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're not familiar with indexing and lists and iterable objects, don't worry, we're gonna have sessions for that. So the thing is that basically your string is an iterable object, and you can actually index here, and uh, this is another L, and let's say the index number 6 is going to point to the O rest, L L O. Um, you can also slice from 6 to 9, for example, and you have O space P. This is from 6 to 9. Okay. Um, but the thing is that let's do it the other way around. Let's say that you have a substring and you want to know in which index position that substring is located in your biggest string. Let's do it. So I want to see where in my string, in which position. So for that, I need to pass to use the method index, and I pass the substring I want to locate. For example, py. If I execute this, I have number 8. And it makes sense because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in the next element, it will start my substring, right? Very nice. Something else, remember that at the beginning I told you to leave these spaces here, and this is also very common um, when you are opening a file, or you are getting data from a table or whatever, a database. You really you don't know how clean that data is. And one very frequent problem with strings is that you have spaces on the sides, on the left or in the right, and you don't see it. So there's a very practical method called strip, an L strip and R strip. Let's try all these. Left strip, L strip, and just let's pass it like this. I'm gonna copy this, and let's do two other things together just to have a look. Then we're gonna see right strip and then strip alone. Let's see what happens. Okay, well, here you don't see it, but left, okay, here you see, sorry, left strip is removing the white spaces on the left. The second line, R strip, is removing the white spaces on the right. Here you don't see it, of course, but um, believe me, that's what's happening. And then strip is removing, it's a combination of these two, is removing the white spaces on the left and on the right. And this is very practical. As I told you, when you are getting data from an external source, and you want to make sure that this string is properly formatted, and the very basic thing you want to do is lowercase everything and strip. Can you do those two things at once? Yes, you can. Let's have a look how to do it. First, let's make it in two steps, okay? I can do first my string lower is going to be my string dot lower, right? And then I can do my string lower and uh, stripped is going to be my string lower dot strip. And then let's now print the result of this, right? The super long my string lower stripped. Let me just clear this, CLS, and let's see. I have this. Very good. I have no spaces on left and right, and it's all lowercase. But do I have to do this like these intermediate steps? No, I don't. I can have the same result in a much more practical way. Let's call my string clean, and then I'm going to apply to my string first lower, and then to that I'm going to apply strip. Let's see now what's inside. Print my string clean. Look at this. This is very, very important. I think that this is how Python starts to show its power, right? When you can like concatenate these operations. Uh, but let's look at the output. Okay, it's exactly the same, right? It makes sense. What's happening here? This is very, very important, and I think it's a very good example. What you see here is that actually strip is being applied to the object that is generated on the left. And the object that is generated on the left is my string.lower. I can accumulate more and more methods, and I can make this expression here very large and complex. Of course, it's not a good practice to make it huge, but it is a good practice to, let's say, group all the operations that have some meaning together. And in this case, I'm trying to build a clean version of the string, so it makes sense to put lower and strip together. Okay, very good. Let's see something else. Very, very quick. Let's see now how to input some string, because now I'm just declaring this string, and I don't want to declare it that like this. I want to invite the user to input something. As I said, input. How the input statement works. Basically, you write input, and you pass as a parameter between parentheses the message that you want in the prompt. It's going to be, for example, enter some text. So what's going to happen now if I execute this? Here I have this guy is inviting me to enter some text. I'm going to enter hello Python, press enter, and now the program is over. And what's going on? Nothing is going on. I mean, something is going on. What's going on is that hello Python now it's stored in memory inside under this variable name. But if I want to see that, let's see print my string, and let's repeat this. Enter some text, hello Python, and here you see that when I press enter, then the execution continues and lands here and executes this, right? Let's show all what we have done now with input. Okay, let's input something and let's print my string. Let's print my string dot upper. Let's print my string dot lower, and let's print my string dot count. Let's say the substring p. Okay, let's see what happens now. Let me clean this CLS, and now let's see. Enter some text. Hello Python ppp. Enter. Okay, so makes sense. Print my string. This is print my string dot upper. This is print my string dot lower, and this is the result of this line actually of counting how many times the substring p is in my big string here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. What happens if I want to combine several strings in one print statement? I can do that. Let me remove this. Let me just change this. Let's say text underscore 1 equals to hello, and text underscore 2 equals to Python. I can do this, of course, text Yes, text1. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I get hello, right? So how do I combine these two guys together? So that I have two ways. One is like this, separated with a comma, text2. Let's see what happens now. And this is very important. When you separate with commas and you're passing several strings as arguments of the print statement, for what's going to happen is that you will have a space in the middle. And why this is relevant? Because we have another way of doing this, print, and you can use the plus operator here. And how the plus operator works between strings, it will concatenate the strings. So let's see the output of these two guys. So, okay, well, this is my mistake. Hello, hello. Let me just, it was two here. Fine. Okay, here we are. So this is the output, okay? This is from line number 4. Hello Python. This we already saw it, and this is the combination of these two strings with the blank space in the middle. Sorry, not the blank space here. When you put a comma, you have a blank space in the middle in the output. When you combine the two strings with the plus sign, right? What you have is this. So when you are using the plus sign and you want a space in the middle, you need to include that space, and you can do it like this. Let me remove this guy here, and let's do, this is going to be text1 plus one empty space plus the text2. So you can combine variables with literals here, right? Let's see what happens. And now we have what we want, right? We can actually add more stuff here, and we can actually combine the two methods here. For example, we can use text1 plus space plus text2, and let's say that we add a third one. It's called text3 equals to how, oh sorry, how are you? And we're going to add this at the end. We can combine actually, and now I'm going to use comma text3. Let's see what happens. Hello Python, how are you? As you see, I have hello from here. The space here is coming from this middle part, and then text2, comma, text3. Well, that's all for today as basic string methods and applications. Thank you for joining, and see you in the next session. Bye-bye.